If you're like the average small business owner in Canada or America right now, then inflation is your greatest struggle by far. In today's video, we're going to talk about 3 strategies that you as a business owner could pursue in order to help with the crushing impact of inflation on your small business. In a recent Chamber of Commerce publication, it was made clear that 60% of small business owners list inflation as the greatest negative impact on their business, and in fact have been doing so and listing inflation as the greatest worry for 6 quarters in a row. By the way, each quarter is 3 months of business life. So that's a very long time that business owners have been struggling with inflation. And to give you perspective, the second or third issues in line, such as revenue or supply chain issues, were not even close to the 60% mark of inflation. They were maybe 20, 30%. Again, 60% is just, it's an uncomparably huge mega worry for small business owners listing inflation. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Pamela Metani. I'm a business lawyer and the owner here at Graphene Business Law, a law firm providing services virtually throughout the province of Ontario, Canada, and working exclusively with business owners and entrepreneurs. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up, and of course, subscribe to our channel. We've got quite a little community of business owners and entrepreneurs here. However, most of you have not yet subscribed to the channel. We post content on YouTube multiple times a week that is most relevant to you, small business owners and entrepreneurs. When it comes to the impacts of inflation, we're talking about the impacts of prices of goods being higher and higher and higher, despite there being nothing different with the goods. It's the same supplies that you're purchasing, but they're costing more. It's the same transportation routes your goods are taking, but it's costing more. So the most simple way to understand what inflation is, it's a general increase of prices for goods and services that your business relies on. Now, we mentioned at the beginning of the video, we'd be talking about 3 strategies here. The first strategy that I suggest, big picture for a small business owner, is to have a really close look at contracts you're currently operating through. For example, if you are buying supplies from a certain supplier, well, look at that contract. What are the terms? What are the interest rates? What are the buying quantities you need? And is there a greater buying quantity that puts you at a unit of less cost per good? Things like that. Have a really close look at the contracts you've negotiated for yourself and see if they can be renegotiated in a way that's more favorable to you. Because in today's time, it's not only you as a small business owner that's hurting, it's all businesses are hurting actually. And because inflation affects us all, and while it's true that a larger corporation like a Walmart or a Coca-Cola is going to have a lot more buying power and negotiate better prices for themselves per unit, it's still the truth that the per unit price has gone up for those mega players as well. So long story short, the last thing anybody wants in this economy, including your partners in contract, is less business. So open those conversations with the partners you're currently in business with and ask those questions about, this is really hurting my business. I'm looking at either canceling this contract altogether, but I'd love to keep working with you. You provide a good quality XYZ. What can we do to help with the terms of our current agreement? Because this is just not working out for me. And of course, as business owners here, we know about the reality of the fact that contract terms generally have to be honored all the way to the end, all the way until that term comes to whatever term you're operating under. But also as a business person, as a business owner, I know that when at the end of the day you go to a contracting party and you say, listen, I just can't make it if we don't work something out, there's a very high chance that somebody will want to work something out with you. And of course, to do that the correct way and make sure that you're not getting the short end of the stick, you should consult a business lawyer, make sure you're doing things right. And here at Graphene Business Law, we have all the knowledge and experience required to help you with matters regarding launching your business, growing your business, and even if unfortunately it's just too much of an impact of inflation on you, too much of hard financial times, to help you conclude your business. The second thing you can do, and this one is one of those that goes without saying, but it's worth mentioning because it's a really important piece. The first item had to do with conversations with other parties that you're in business with. But at the end of the day, you can't control anything about how those other parties react, despite the business realities that we've covered. So the second thing that is open to you is dealing with issues that you can single-handedly control. And as a business owner, that would be expenses. The top categories of expense for business owners are always going to be rent and a physical space. Wages, that is the largest cost category by far in most small businesses. And those are things that maybe it's time to have a really, the closest look you've ever had, so to speak, and see if you're at a certain space with a certain amount of square footage, do you need all that space? Do you maybe need any physical space that you're renting from anybody else? Are you able to run your business virtually? Or are you able to run it at a customer's location, for example, as opposed to needing to take out the loans and the means to finance a physical location of your own? When it comes to staff, do you need all the staff you have, and do you need them for as many hours as you do? And keeping in mind that, once you're hiring full-time staff, depending on the jurisdiction, of course, Graphene Business Law is located in Ontario, but you could be anywhere in the world watching this, and I know we have quite a diverse crowd watching from the back end of our YouTube page. You could be anywhere in the world, and so but generally, it's the case that a full-time employee will also come with more employment rights, so to speak. They'll come with a need for you to provide benefits as an employer and this and that. But a part-time employee, you might not need to provide benefits for. You might not need to provide pension structures for and all of those things. You might not need to provide as many vacation days too and things like that. So have a really, really close look at your staffing needs. Not in the sense, and I want to be very clear that this is not misunderstood, not in the sense of see how much you can exploit each individual that's working for you. No, think of the fact of what individual is within their means capable of doing, and if those capabilities match what your needs are, and if you really need as many individuals on board as you might have right now. So again, just talking here about the two greatest cost categories that you're going to have as a business owner, usually, which are staffing and rent. We've posted a lot of content on this channel about the cost that business owners face, and I'll link those videos in the description down below as well. The third option that's available to you, and this one is one you need to be really, really, really careful with, is taking out an extra business line of credit. Again, I'm going to link in the description because this is a very sticky red tape kind of thing. Taking on credit with your for your business comes with a lot of consequences for you as an individual, and we've put out a video on that because it's something I feel so strongly about, that so many business owners are so unaware as to the implications of taking out a business loan and the implications on you personally, financially, on your life and all of that. But this is something where you need to have a good hard look at yourself and your books and your details of running your business. If it's the case that genuinely the only thing that has caused struggle to your business operations is inflation, well, we know that inflation doesn't stick around forever. We know that the economy goes through good times and bad times, and that's just the peaks and valleys, so to speak, of the life cycle of the economy. So just because we're experiencing higher than usual inflation right now, it won't last forever because it can't last forever. So all that to say, again, look carefully. Is inflation really, I mentioned in the beginning of the video, 60% of business owners, so more than 1 in 2, cite inflation as the biggest issue they're having. But is it the only issue you're having? Because if it's the case that you have a business idea, again, that you need to be honest with yourself on, that just hasn't taken off, nobody ever really supported it, all of these extenuating factors, and on top of it, now the economy has entered tough times, which have led to these higher levels of inflation. Well, a line of credit isn't going to save your business. A line of credit is not going to make a product that you're selling that sucks not suck. A line of credit is not going to take that service you're offering and take it from something that sucks to not suck. A line of credit is something that you should take out and be responsible about, understanding the implications on you personally that come with it, And you should never take a line of credit out without a plan as to how to pay it back, okay? Otherwise, what's the point? We're just living in delusion land, and why would you want that for yourself? So that's what I mean. Taking out a line of credit, so many companies have lines of credit. The biggest companies in the world that you could think of operate with lines of credits as well, and I can guarantee you that, okay? But it is how different individuals and companies utilize and rely on those lines of credit that makes a difference, okay? If you really need the line of credit because inflation is the only impact you're having that's negative on your business, and you'd like to just hedge the impacts of the inflation a little bit, knowing very well that as soon as some of these inflation related issues start to minimize or diminish, you'll be able to pay your LOC back no issue. Maybe it's time to have that conversation. But if you're looking to a line of credit as your Hail Mary to save this business that never had a good run in the first place, now we're in the territory of the irresponsible, and you needing to ask yourself some questions as a business owner. I think I'll leave this video there to keep it digestible. Of course, I stay up to date with business topics and topics affecting small business owners specifically, because that's who I work with and that's who I love working with. That's my primary client demographic. And I couldn't not do a video on what was overwhelmingly the largest issue facing small business ever at this point in time. If you are experiencing other issues with your small business, let us know in the comments down below. We can put a video out on those and help provide you with some free educational content on that as well. If your business is doing really well despite the impacts of inflation, well, let us know that as well. Obviously, good news. Everybody loves to hear that. So are you doing well because you follow tips like the ones mentioned in this video? Is there something else that helps you do really well despite the impacts of inflation on your business? Share the good news with our business community here as well. Otherwise, if you are in the province of Ontario and considering following any of these steps, as I mentioned, you should make sure that you have proper legal advice accompanying you with these steps that are required to end up at each of these goals. For example, in renegotiating contracts for your business and all of that. And you can reach out to us here at Graphene Business Law to help you with all of that, virtually from the comfort of your own space anywhere in Ontario. Our website is graphenebusinesslaw.ca, and our welcome email is info@graphenebusinesslaw.ca. Thank you for watching.